Downing Street has hit back against Joe Biden after the U.S. presidential candidate waded into a Brexit row as UK relations with the U.S. risk crumbling. The UK government took a swipe at the Democrat, saying it would work towards a plan to ensure American politicians understood its position on Prime Minister Boris Johnson's internal market bill. Their remarks come after Mr. Biden warned the UK it must honour the Northern Irish peace deal as it extracts itself from the EU or there would be no US trade deal. A Number 10 spokesman said, "We continue to remain absolutely committed to no hard border and no border infrastructure between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. And we will continue to engage with our US partners on a bipartisan basis to ensure that our positions are understood." Asked if Mr. Biden was wrong, the spokesman said, "We will continue to work with our U.S. partners to ensure our position is understood, but the whole point of this, as the PM has set out, is to make sure the Belfast Good Friday Agreement is upheld." It comes after Prime Minister Boris Johnson managed to stave off a rebellion over his controversial plans to override the Brexit withdrawal agreement and will heap pressure back in the EU today with a take it or leave it deal. Downing Street will throw the ball back in the court of the Brussels bloc after Prime Minister Boris Johnson managed to find an agreement with Tory rebels over the UK Internal Market Bill. The government will table an amendment to the Brexit bill, giving MPs a vote before it can use powers which would breach the deal brokered with Brussels last year. Around 30 Tory rebels were thought to be preparing to vote for an amendment on Tuesday which would have required a Commons vote before the provisions in the bill relating to Northern Ireland could come into force. But Downing Street announced in a joint statement with Conservative MPs Sir Bob Neill and Damien Green, vowing to seek to amend the bill to require the Commons to vote before a minister can use the notwithstanding powers contained within it. BBC political editor Laura Kuntzberg said the move was not the Prime Minister giving up on his plans. She said, "Whatever you think of that, asking for extra permission from MPs does not mean that ministers have backed down on the overall principle that provoked such outrage. Aside from anything else, this is a government with a huge majority, so giving Parliament a lock is not exactly a big restriction. And this move does not mean that resistance in the House of Lords will disappear. And for that matter, the EU's upset at a tense time will remain. But don't mistake that for Downing Street giving up on its plan which caused such outrage at the start.